Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing very well. So earlier today, we finally got the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's announcement for their nominees list for the 2023 Golden Globes. And as is tradition here on my channel, we are going to be diving into the vast majority of the major categories for the Golden Globes next year. Now, because there are so many categories for the Golden Globes, as they cover both movies and TV shows, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be breaking this video up in two as I did last year. So this video will be focused on the film nominees, and then in the following video we'll be tackling the TV show nominations. So I'm really excited to dive into this as I do every year, although I would be remiss if I didn't mention that I'm still a little bit salty towards the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, if I'm being honest. You know, many of you guys will know if you watched my videos covering the Golden Globes last year that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association got into some boiling hot water truly just boiling hot water over a bunch of controversies surrounding their bribery scandals and their lack of diversity, namely the lack of black people on the panel. So yeah, it was a mess, but they swear that they have done all that they can to tackle these issues head on, to make changes. Okay, they went up to NBC and they were like, please believe us, we've made the changes. Okay, we're not the same, we've changed. And NBC was like, well, we've only got one more year in our contract with you, so we'll see. Because it's true, they only do have one more year before the contract ends, where they get to air the show on NBC. So let's see if it does get renewed or if the Golden Globes get shopped to another network. But in the meantime, we're going to be diving into these nominees because they deserve the recognition that they're getting, even if the Hollywood Foreign Press Association sucks. But before we get into my thoughts, feelings, and reactions to the 2023 Golden Globes nominees list, I do have a bit of an announcement, guys. Those of you who saw my community post will already know, but I have been hard at work behind the scenes trying to do something, tackle something that has been a project I wanted to do for a very, very long time. But this year I finally bit the bullet and decided to bring you guys the first annual, perhaps, Genie Awards. Yes, we're gonna have a whole awards ceremony here on this channel. It's not going to be a live ceremony, I'm afraid, because I'm not tech savvy like that. But for the first year, I am going to be recording this video that's going to be exploring a bunch of my own nominees and my own categories, just like these other awards shows. It's pretty much on the same level. And yeah, I'm really excited to bring you guys the Genie Awards for the very first time. So be sure to stay tuned, check out the community posts for updates, but this will be taking place this Sunday, the 18th of December 2022. I think the time that I'm working with at the moment is 7 p.m. GMT, but let me know if there are any other times that you guys would prefer. I'm working off of London time here, so just tell me, you know, what time zone you're at, and let's see if we can make something work if 7 p.m. GMT is not okay for you guys. But yes, I'm really excited. I'm going to be working on this video all week. I want it to be really nice and special for you guys, and this will not be replacing my top 10 lists, by the way. I'll still be doing the top 10 movies and TV shows videos for you guys for the end of the year, so those will be coming in the coming weeks. But yes, this is just something extra that I've wanted to do for years now, and I'm finally getting a chance to do it, and I'm really, really excited to share it with you guys. So of course, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications to make sure that you are notified when the video drops. It'll be premiering on Sunday, like I said. But for now, let's dive into the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's awards with the Golden Globes nominees list of 2023. Okay, to start off, the very first category we're going to be diving into is Best Performance by an Actress in a Drama. And here the nominees are Cate Blanchett for Tar, Olivia Colman for Empire of Light, Viola Davis for The Woman King, Ana de Armas for Blonde, and Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans. So out of all of these films that are represented in this category, I have only seen The Woman King. I've only seen one. be a running theme, by the way. I'm sorry to let you know now. This is going to be a running theme for the majority of these categories, because this year, many of you guys will already know, I've struggled to catch up with all of the movies. I've been preoccupied with TV shows, if I'm being honest, and especially these smaller films that have very limited releases and just disappear. Like when you blink, they're no longer in cinemas and you don't know when they're going to drop on streaming. It's just been a mess this year when it comes to, you know, awards contenders. So yeah, I've only so I watched The Woman King. I started watching Tar because I was like, oh, Cate Blanchett is a front runner, but then I kind of protested and took it off. I X'd the window, okay, because there's no way in hell that I'm going to allow anyone other than Viola Davis win this category. I'm so sorry. There's no way in hell that I will stand for anyone else. I know that Cate Blanchett has emerged as a frontrunner for some bizarre reason because she's Cate Blanchett, but what Viola Davis did in The Woman King was just so top tier, phenomenal. Like, please, let's not waste any time. Give her the freaking award, okay? She's never won Best Actress, okay? She's won Best Supporting, but give sis the Best Actress award. I want this for her for all of the awards, for the Golden Globes, for the Oscars. Come on, if you've seen The Woman King, you know what I'm talking about. I'm tired. I don't even want to have to explain myself. Like, come on, just check out my review of The Woman King. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Viola Davis was like next level. I don't care what anyone else has done in this category. I don't care. I don't care if Ana de Armas' wig looked convincing. I don't care. Also, how did Blonde sneak up in here? Wasn't Blonde like a social pariah for a second there? Like, everyone agreed that they hated Blonde, and yet Ana de Armas managed to get in here because it's the Hollywood Foreign Press Association and they love big names and big stars. So instead of nominating the lead actress from Till, for instance, who was also a front runner before today, they nominated Ana de Armas. So, you know, well done to them, but it doesn't matter because for me, there is only one winner in this category, and that is Viola Davis. Anyone else would piss me off equally. I'd be equally pissed off. So the next category up that we have is Best Actor in a Drama, and here the nominees are Austin Butler for Elvis, Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Hugh Jackman for The Son, Bill Nighy for Living, and Jeremy Pope for The Inspection. So once again, out of this whole list, I've only seen one of these films, and that is Elvis. Everything else is like, I haven't seen them, I'm afraid. I've seen the trailer for Living. It seems really charming, really nice. I'm a terrible reviewer. I feel so bad. I wish like I was more informed. Like a few years back, I would have like known at least 80% of these and I would have seen them already, but this year has just been shambolic for these release dates. I don't know what's going on. If you're not in the press, it's so hard to actually see these smaller films now after the pandemic. So yeah, maybe I'm just making excuses. I don't know. You guys let me know how you feel. But I would just go with Austin Butler because what else can I do? Like, what else can I feasibly do? But in terms of who I think will win, in terms of who I think is a front runner from what I've been hearing, it's probably going to be Brendan Fraser. Although there is a little bit of controversy with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association where there was an unfortunate incident that Brendan Fraser has alleged that was like inappropriate behavior by the former head of the association. So maybe that will affect his chances of winning. I mean, people thought that it would affect his chances of getting nominated, but he was still nominated. So I don't know what the outcome of that will be, but it would be a shame if that, you know, more political and personal issue got in the way of him getting an award that he deserves by all accounts. So all in all, I've only seen Elvis in this category. I would put up Austin Butler for the award, but I have heard a lot about Brendan Fraser's incredible performance in The Whale, so I would bet that he would be the front runner here. Okay, so the next category up that we've got is Best Supporting Actress, and here they don't divide the category between a drama and comedy / musical, so we all have all of the supporting actresses in one category here, and the nominees here are Angela Bassett for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Kerry Condon for The Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Dolly D. Leon for Triangle of Sadness, and Kerry Mulligan for She Said. Okay, so this is less embarrassing because I have seen 4 out of the 5 films here. See, I'm not a terrible reviewer, I promise. I do my homework, okay? I haven't gotten a chance to see Banshees because I was supposed to last week, but I had my wisdom tooth removed and I was in pain, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't get a chance to see that yet. But I have seen 4 out of the 5 here. Let's go through these nominees, shall we? So first of all, I have to remove Kerry Condon because I haven't seen her performance. I am shocked to see that Jamie Lee Curtis has been nominated for Everything Everywhere All at Once and not Stephanie Hsu. What's up with that? To me, that's kind of scandalous. Like, I understand Jamie Lee Curtis is an established, well-loved, you know, very famous and accomplished actress in Hollywood, and the Hollywood Foreign Press Association would just eat that up, eat that shit up, right? But if you watch the film, like, in my opinion, what Stephanie Hsu does in her role, I mean, it's not just one role. She has a million roles. Sis plays a million different characters in incredible costumes in that film, and yet she manages to deliver a performance that doesn't feel like a caricature. It doesn't feel surface level. It feels real and deep and meaningful, especially when you get that emotional arc by the end of the film where you realize what this is all really about, what that chaos and madness was really about at its core. Stephanie Hsu delivered that spectacularly. The fact that she's not on this list makes no damn sense to me. Imagine watching Everything Everywhere All at Once and being like, you know, Stephanie Hsu, she's fine, but Jamie Lee Curtis what? I know that Jamie Lee Curtis was great. Okay, I'm not saying that anyone was not good in this film. It's a spectacular film, but Stephanie Hsu should be on this list. Sorry. I don't know what the fudge happened there. Maybe it was a typo. Maybe they made a mistake. And then next you have Dolly DeLeon in Triangle of Sadness. I think she was really, really good in this film. My issue with her character, though, is that her character comes to the forefront of the story at a time when the story flounders. Like, to me, Triangle of Sadness was really onto something in the first 2 acts, but then in the latter half of the second act, where something major happens, as a shipwreck and, you know, stuff happens, it becomes very Lord of the Flies. That's when Dolly DeLeon's character comes to the forefront of the story, where she kind of takes charge. And that, to me, unfortunately, is the part where I was like, oh damn, like, we've lost the momentum here. Like, the story just completely lost momentum, did not end up being half as interesting as I thought it would be. And yeah, I just kept waiting for something bigger and more impressive to happen to match the energy of the first half, but it never really did. And so that's the main issue that I have with the nomination here, because unfortunately, in my opinion, you know, just when her performance was kicking off, the story had very much died down or even come to a halt. And then we have Carey Mulligan in She Said, and She Said is a very underrated film that tackles the beginnings, the emergence of the Me Too movement, where you have these journalists in the New York Times trying to get to the bottom of this pattern of abuse and sexual assault and even rape within Hollywood and other industries as well. And Carey Mulligan portrays one of the main journalists, and actually her character is a new mum, so she has that added pressure of, you know, dealing with a child and postpartum depression and, you know, all sorts that kind of adds to her character. And I think she did a really good job in this role, but I personally would not have placed her in this category. I mean, you guys will see you guys will see who I place in my categories, okay, when you watch the Genie Awards this Sunday. You guys will see who I put on my list for Best Supporting Actress, but I can tell you right here, right now, Carey Mulligan was not on there. Carey Mulligan is not on my list, okay, because there were some incredible performances by supporting actresses this year. The fact that we have Carey Mulligan here, to me, doesn't really make much sense. Sorry, like, where's Janelle Monáe? Where is Janelle Monáe? If you have watched my Glass Onion review, I forgot the name of this dumb film, the Glass Onion review, you will know that I'm all here for Janelle Monáe sweeping in this category. The fact that she's not even nominated is sinful. So I would easily swap Carey Mulligan for Janelle Monáe. Sorry, but I just felt like her performance was far more impactful than what Carey Mulligan did in this film, even though she did a pretty good job. But all of this is irrelevant. All of this, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, there's only one winner in this category that I will accept. And that's Angela Bassett. Sorry. Angela Bassett as Queen Ramonda in Black Panther 2. Like, let's be real. We all saw this coming. We were all happy that it was actually fulfilled, okay? But she killed. She killed in that film. Are you joking? She wiped the floor with these other ladies. Sorry, but it's going to Angela Bassett. It should go to Angela Bassett, and I would also give it to Angela Bassett. I won't accept any other answers to this question. Okay, so the next category up that we've got is Best Supporting Actor. And here the nominees are Brendan Gleeson for The Banshees of Inisherin, Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Barry Keoghan for The Banshees of Inisherin, Brad Pitt for Babylon, and Eddie Redmayne for The Good Nurse. So just looking at this list, I think I see a couple of examples of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association being the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. And by that I mean, you know, nominating some big name actors in the hopes that they'll attend their ceremony, you know, for the prestige, for the notoriety. I think that's the case for Brad Pitt in Babylon. I've heard nothing but negative things about Babylon, so I'm shook that that film has made any appearance on this category. And then we have Eddie Redmayne for The Good Nurse, which I watched half of. Okay, thank you very much. And then I turned it off because it was like, you know, it was there are just so many other incredible supporting roles that we have seen this past year. Where's Brian Tyree Henry? Like, I'm going to be saying this later on as well for the TV categories, but here as well, where is Brian Tyree Henry for Causeway for Apple TV Plus? Like, where is he at? Because he was also another favorite that could potentially pop up in these categories, and I'm not seeing he's not there. He's not there. Why? But shout out to Barry Keoghan for breaking in here for Banshees of Inisherin. I've got to watch that damn film. Apparently everyone's great in it. But I personally would choose Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I thought he was phenomenal in that film. To me, it's not even a competition. Like, just hand it over to him. Hand him the Golden Globe. I mean, Ke Huy Quan was doing bits. Like, he was doing, his character, again, he was playing several different characters, several different personas. Like, I'm sorry, but these other girlies don't come close. Give it to the guy already. And then next up, we have the big one. Next up, we have Best Drama. And here the nominees are Avatar: The Way of Water, Elvis, The Fabelmans, Tar, and Top Gun Maverick. So out of this list, I've only seen Top Gun Maverick and Elvis. I haven't seen the rest. Why is Elvis nominated under drama? Is it not a musical? I will never understand how the Golden Globes makes these decisions. Isn't Elvis a musical? Like, it has Elvis's music, like, it's prominently featured in the film. What? How does that make any sense? Anyway, but they nominate The Martian as a comedy. Whatever. Hollywood Foreign Press Association does whatever the hell it wants to make all of these films fit in its puzzle. Now, looking at this list just makes me full of dismay, disappointment, disgust. Okay, because I just have one question. Where is the Woman King? Where is it? Where is the Woman King? I think the Woman King more than deserves to be here on this list above The Fabelmans, above Tar. Like, who cares? Give me the Woman King. Give me a film that is literally so unique and so impactful, and it really is a moment in Hollywood history, okay, with its significance. Give me a film that was so brilliantly directed by a female director, mind you. Give me something that's just... oh, it's something that really just made my blood pump. Something that really excited me. Give me something like that. Don't give me Tar. Who the fudge cares about Tar? I'm so angry. Don't give me The Fabelmans. Oh, Steven Spielberg directing a film about his own life. I know I'm being super harsh, but I'm just over it. I'm tired, okay? Because before, you know, organizations like the Hollywood Foreign Press Association would be like, oh, there aren't enough people of color in the industry. There aren't enough projects focused on people of color. So we can't do anything. Like, oh, we can't nominate them for these awards because they're not there. But now they are there. Now they are there. So what's your excuse this time around? Why is Tar on this list and not the Woman King? What's your... Go on. I'll listen. What's your excuse this time around? Nonsense. I'm over it. I'm so angry. But when it comes to who I would pick out of this category, I would probably pick Top Gun Maverick, if I'm being honest. If the Woman King was here, I would easily pick the Woman King, but since it's not, I'm going to pick Top Gun Maverick, mostly to spite James Cameron, if I'm being honest. James Cameron is just like, he seems so unlikable. You know, hearing the stories of behind the scenes scandals and his interviews that he's been giving for the past few months, I'm over James Cameron. So I would love to see Top Gun Maverick snatch that award from his hand, but it'll probably go to Avatar if it's half as good as people are saying. I'm going to see at the end of the week, so we shall see. I paid so much money for that ticket as well. It probably is going to make $1 billion simply because of how expensive these 3D IMAX tickets are. But yeah, I would love for Top Gun Maverick to just snatch that award from James Cameron's hands, but we'll see. It's likely going to go to him. Okay, so now we're moving on to the musical or comedy categories, and here the nominees for Best Actor are Diego Calva for Babylon, Daniel Craig for Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery, Adam Driver for White Noise, Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Ralph Fiennes for The Menu. Okay, so I've only seen Knives Out of this list, but I would actually give it to Colin Farrell just because I know that he's the front runner for this category, for the Best Actor category actually. So I would go with Colin Farrell because as great as Daniel Craig is in Glass Onion, I think that what Colin Farrell is doing in Banshees of Inisherin is a bit more layered and complex, and you know how the Academy and the Hollywood Foreign Press Association love that complex and understated performance. So I would go with Colin Farrell. He's probably going to take this one home. I have to see Banshees, honestly, but it's kind of baffling that it's in the comedy category because it's supposed to be like a tragedy, right? Like it's supposed to be about these two men who are friends for a very long time until Brendan Gleeson decides he doesn't want to be friends with Colin Farrell anymore, and Colin Farrell's really upset about it. Like, I don't see how that's comedic. Again, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association does whatever the hell it wants to. Fine, let's call it a comedy, I guess. And the next category up that we've got is Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy. And here the nominees are Margot Robbie for Babylon, Anya Taylor-Joy for The Menu, Emma Thompson for Good Luck to You, Leo Grand, Leslie Manville for Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, and Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think we all know what's gonna happen here. I think we all know who's taking this one home. I know who's taking it home. Do you guys know who's taking it home? It's Michelle Yeoh. In case you were confused, it's Michelle Yeoh. She's taking this one home, hands down. There's no way that any of these other girlies are gonna sweep it. I mean, something catastrophic would need to happen. Like it would just be unprecedented. She's definitely got this one in the bag. I will say though, I have seen Good Luck to You, Leo Grand, and Emma Thompson is actually incredible in that film. Like, I don't want to take anything away from her just because Michelle Yeoh was insanely amazing, but Emma Thompson was really, really good in that film. Highly recommend it. It's one that made me really uncomfortable, but really have to reflect my thoughts and approach and opinions and attitudes towards sex and sex workers. It's a really interesting film, very small but very broad in how it opens up your mind on the subject, and seeing Emma Thompson's character go through this like really interesting arc about her attitudes towards sex was really fascinating, and she absolutely delivered. Also, there are some nude scenes in there that is very kind of unprecedented for a woman of her age. I hate that, but it's true. Like, in our society, you don't often see that relationship be portrayed for women in that stage of life. So I think it was just really, really great work that she did in that film. So all respect to her. But Michelle Yeoh is going home with it. Having said all of that, Michelle Yeoh is going home with this award, and deservedly so. Okay, so the next category that we have up is Best Director, and here the nominees are James Cameron for Avatar: The Way of Water, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Baz Luhrmann for Elvis, Martin McDonagh for Banshees of Inisherin, and Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans. If I had to guess, I would say it's probably going to James Cameron for Avatar: The Way of Water. But the main reason why I wanted to even mention this category is just to express my, again, disappointment, disgust, dismay over the fact that Gina Prince Bythewood is not nominated in this category for The Woman King. I think that's atrocious. I would have replaced her with Steven Spielberg. As if Steven Spielberg needs another award for his shelves. Like, as if Steven Spielberg needs another nominate. Please, get rid of him. I would absolutely get rid of Steven Spielberg. I wouldn't get rid of Martin McDonagh because so many of his actors have been nominated here. So he must have done something right. Like, he must have directed the hell out of that film. So I think he's deserving of a space here, honestly. But just get rid of Steven Spielberg because he occupied spaces last year as well with the West Side Story remake, and now he's back again this year. Like, this guy just needs to give everyone else a break and give this space to Gina Prince Bythewood, who did an incredible job with The Woman King. And in terms of who my dream pick would be in this category, I would probably give it to the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think what they did was so exceptional, and it's so interesting because you have James Cameron, who had all the money in the world, literally just a bottomless pit of Disney money to work with for this Avatar sequel, and then you had the Daniels working with like mere pennies and dimes of a budget, and they were able to create something so imaginative, so spectacular, and so unique, and it ended up being the best multiverse movie of the year, and it was competing against a Marvel film. That is incredible. That is amazing, and I think that's to be commended. I would absolutely hand this win over to the Daniels. But, you know, James Cameron has done something special with water again, and, you know, blue people, so he'll probably get the award at the end of the day. And again, I don't like him, so it is going to piss me off when it happens. And then next up, we have Best Film, Musical or Comedy. And here the nominees are Babylon, The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, and Triangle of Sadness. So, once again, hi friends, I think we're all on the same page. We all agree that Everything Everywhere All at Once is taking this home. Yep, absolutely, it's taking it home. It's absolutely deserving of the win. I think it emerged as one of the best films of the entire year, and it's not even close, is the thing. There's a wide margin, okay, where you have like 10% of the films that came out this year and the other 90%, and Everything Everywhere All at Once is definitely in the top tier that the year has had to offer. I think the more interesting question is, who would I pick as a second place? And it would be Glass Onion for me. Absolutely, I think Glass Onion was a hit. I can't wait for you guys to check it out on Netflix if you haven't seen it already. I think they should have extended the run in cinemas, by the way. I think Netflix is so petty for that. They should have extended the run because it's just been horrible at the box office pre-Avatar. So they definitely should have allowed people to see this film in the big screens. And then when it comes to Triangle of Sadness, as I said, the film had such great potential in the first 2 acts, and then it kind of loses steam in like the last part of the second act, bleeding into the third act before it kind of ends on a good note, but it's not enough to make up for that whole act of just floundering with the plot. So I wouldn't even put it here on this list, honestly. I think this could have been taken up by Matilda, the musical. That looks spectacular. That looks so fun, and it's a musical comedy category, so I would have given it to Matilda for sure. And the final movie category that we're going to delve into for this video is the Best Animated Film category, and here the nominees are Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Inu-Oh, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, oh my god, that's a tongue twister, Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, and Turning Red. Now this right here is cataclysmic. Where is Disney? Disney has had a really tough year, And this list kind of encapsulates the issues that it has had with its non-Marvel Star Wars properties, because the fact that we don't have a single Disney film on here is shocking. Now, we do have some representation from Pixar. They had 2 films released this year with Turning Red and Lightyear. Lightyear was met with a lot of controversy, a lot of hate, even though the film did not deserve it, in my opinion. But funnily enough, lest we forget, Turning Red was also met with a lot of controversy and a lot of hate by the same kind of groups, okay? But at least one of them emerged victorious with a nomination in this category, and that happens to be the one that wasn't even released theatrically, mind you, and I do think it is the better one of the 2, so I'm happy to see Turning Red here on this list. But it doesn't look to be a front runner, because from what I've seen, that honor goes to either Pinocchio or Marcel the Shell with shoes on. I've seen Pinocchio. I literally just watched it as I was doing my makeup for this video. What a phenomenal film. The thing about the story of Pinocchio to me is that it's so sad that I hesitate to watch it. That's why it took me so long to check this out. And I haven't watched the other version, which we'll talk about in a second. But when I finally made myself watch it, I was just in awe of just how beautiful it was. Guillermo del Toro is known for creating these beautiful, intricate worlds, whatever he tackles. And he's also known for the dark kind of tone and the statements and political statements like we've seen in the likes of, you know, Pan's Labyrinth. And here is another continuation of that with the overtures of Mussolini and the rise of fascism in Italy being featured in this story. So whilst I wouldn't say I enjoyed Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, it's already a very sad story and he adds even sadder elements to it, but it was a spectacle to behold. Like, it was absolutely stunning. So I definitely think it deserves to be on this list. Back to what I was saying about Disney's no good, very bad year. They also had a Pinocchio come out. Remember? They had a Pinocchio of their own in September, a live action version of their classic animated film from what, like 1942 or something, and that was a flop. Floppage. It was so bad. Like, I couldn't believe the reception that this film got. I haven't watched it myself because I can't be asked to watch bad films. But I was shook. Like, Disney has really had a tough year, and that is underscored by the fact that their own animated venture, Stranger Worlds, didn't even feature on this list. It's not even like it's not a front runner, it's just literally not here. And it's a box office flop as well, so just to add insult to injury, ooh, it's been a disastrous year in many ways for the company. But all in all, when it comes to my pick for best animated feature, I think it's fair to say I'd go with Pinocchio, because it's like one of the 2 that I've watched from this list. But I wouldn't be surprised if Marcel sweeps in there with his, you know, shell shoes and grabs the award for himself, because apparently he's very well loved. And Puss in Boots. Apparently the Puss in Boots film is really good, guys. I'm going to be checking out in the cinema for sure. Apparently it's excellent. The fact that it's like a spin-off of Shrek, and it's not even like a beloved or awards-worthy franchise, but it's managed to get on this list, 1, speaks to how far Disney has fallen, and 2, speaks to how these other studios like DreamWorks are sweeping in there and really making use of those extra spaces. I'm really impressed. I'm a little bit disappointed that DreamWorks' other venture, The Bad Guys, didn't make an appearance here, because I loved that film. I think there are quite a few animated films that could have been here as well, like Netflix's The Sea Beast would have been a great contender. So yeah, I've been doing my homework, like I said, and I do have some differences in my personal list, but like I said, I haven't seen Marcel yet, so we shall see if that impacts my personal list for best animated film. But that's it from me, guys. Now that I told you guys my thoughts on the Golden Globes 2023 nominations lists for the movie categories, it's time for you guys to let me know what you thought of these nominees down in the comments below. Please be sure to subscribe to catch new videos coming up, including my coverage of the TV shows nominees list, as well as, of course, the Genie Awards this Sunday. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.